Welcome back to my Elevated Life Show, the space where we talk about what it really means to live fully, with intention, confidence and alignment. Today I'm joined by Helen Richardson, a brilliant stylist who helps women reconnect with their style, and in doing so, reconnect with themselves. Helen helps women rediscover their style and reignite their confidence, no matter their age, size or budget. Trust me, she walks the talk. I worked with Helen last month as I was feeling really disconnected from how I was showing up, and honestly, the experience exceeded every expectation. It was transformational. After putting on weight and years of hiding in black, Helen helped me step back into colour, fun, and ultimately confidence. It was more than just a styling session. It was personal development wrapped up in gorgeous dresses, gold jewellery, and leopard print belts. I left feeling not just styled, but seen. I knew I had to have her as a guest on this podcast. So, if you've ever looked in your wardrobe and felt uninspired, or if you're hiding away in clothes that don't match where you are in life, and you're ready to feel more like you again, stay with us. We're diving into the psychology behind our style, the mindset shift that comes with confidence, and how what we wear can be a secret to owning our power in life and business. Let's get into it. Helen, I'd love to hear from your side. What's it like for you when a woman comes to you, maybe feeling disconnected or unsure, and you get to guide her through that transformation?
Oh, thank you. So I just absolutely love the challenge. As you've already said, no matter what age, size or budget, women can look and feel stylish. But the transformation is not just about the clothing. It's about her reconnecting with her identity and believing in herself again. And, you know, seeing her stand taller, smile wider and say, I love getting dressed again, that's the magic.
Do you know what? 100%. And I'm going to share a little bit about my journey, if you don't mind. So we recently met for a styling session, didn't we?
Yep.
And I was feeling really discouraged and stuck with my style. I was doing well in business, but I wanted my wardrobe to reflect that. I'd put on a lot of weight, and I honestly was so sceptical about working with you. I thought, can anyone dress my 5-foot, pear-shaped body? But you did it, and it was a huge transformation. And I have to say, the biggest thing that I got from it was confidence, which I wasn't expecting. And in recent years, I absolutely hated shopping because I wasn't a typical high street model. I was hopeful, but unsure that I'd ever look good. What I didn't expect was how much fun it would be and how seen I would feel. You have a real talent for making people feel seen and heard. The whole process was so easy. I didn't just leave with outfits, I left with confidence and I felt hugely empowered.
Oh, that's good news to hear, Polly. Thank you.
You say that style is much more than just clothes. It's about confidence and mindset. Can you share a little bit more about what that really means?
Absolutely. So clothes are the outer and confidence is what we really get from dressing up. So dressing with confidence is about being intentional about what you wear. When you have the right outfit on, believe me, you're unstoppable. And I'm sensing that from you, Polly, because it reflects how you really want to feel.
Yes.
And that is what it's all about. And it's not vanity, it's visibility, self-respect, and it's also emotional energy. I'm sure you felt the energy shift.
Oh my goodness, 100%. I feel 100 times better. Honestly, I shared this with you, but if I was running late, I'd be like, Mamadou, can you just go and get my jacket? He's like, what colour is it? Black. And he'd be going through everything, and my whole wardrobe, well, you saw it, was completely black, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And now it's all colour, and it's such a shift. Even just seeing it and opening the wardrobe, it makes me feel a little bit lighter, a little bit happier. And you can dress to your mood as well, can't you?
Absolutely, yeah. Definitely. Colour is so powerful. And, you know, the neutrals and the blacks and those sorts of colours, they all have their place. But colour just adds a different dimension. Understanding what your colours are is so crucial.
Absolutely. If you're just listening to it, Helen's got this really stunning, would you say like fuchsia pink top?
Fuchsia pink, yes.
It's your brand colour, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it is stunning. When I think of you, I always think of you in this colour. And it is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
So I think we all have colours we feel our best in.
Absolutely. And there's certain colours that, you know, you'll go towards to wear because you know that makes you feel really empowering.
Yes.
And it always troubles me when people do say, well, I just go for black.
Yeah.
And often, the reason can be, oh, well, it's more slimming. But actually, it doesn't give you that spark that a colour will give you. So whilst it might give you a little bit of confidence, it doesn't give you true confidence. Colour gives you true confidence.
You're almost masking what's underneath sometimes, I think.
Absolutely,
aren't you?
100%. Yeah, 100%.
I'm wearing green today, and I think this is my new colour. I absolutely love it.
Makes your eyes pop.
Thank you. So I'm curious, what drew you to styling, especially with women? Like, how did you first get into this all?
So I've always loved clothes. I've always loved fashion. And in my previous corporate job, I was seeing women not making effort with themselves, almost just saying, oh, this will just do for work, highly skilled, lacking in confidence, invisible. And I say invisible because they weren't being promoted, because first impressions do count.
They do.
So people wouldn't be putting them in front of customers because of the way they looked. Now, it may sound really superficial, but it's reality.
Yes.
We all buy with our eyes. We trust with our eyes.
Yeah.
So, that's where it came from. And also, I was just coming across so many women that I felt really lacked confidence again. I wanted to just help women feel good inside and out. That was why I decided to retrain, because the right clothing is very, very powerful.
Yes.
When you are dressing for yourself, talks about intention, but also aligned with your personal style and elements of your body shape. There are guidelines out there, but we can break them. Then that's when you will all be put together. I was seeing women that were going through body changes, lifestyle changes, identity changes, but they weren't actually evolving with their style as well. So for me, I just wanted to help women that felt a little bit lost, that felt as though, oh, that'll just do for work. But work is very important. It pays for your lifestyle, your bills and your holidays and your mortgage.
Yes.
So showing up for yourself, your brand, within a business brand or your own business brand is so, so crucial. So I just want to help women stop hiding and to start celebrating themselves again.
Oh, and being a client of yours, I feel this completely. And especially with the world being more online, that we only really have a few seconds to capture people's attention, don't we? So with reels, with posts, it almost feels, especially if you're a woman in business and I think we're all on, online now, aren't we? That we've got to capture people's attention almost immediately. Yeah. And if you're always in black, I don't think that hits the mark, does it?
No, it doesn't stand out. It's actually 1/10 of a second they're now saying.
Wow.
It used to be 10 seconds,
and then
people
3.
will form it, and then 3, and it's 1/10 of a second now.
So it's so important.
So it's so, so important that you are showing up for yourself, and, because you want to stand out.
Yeah.
Even if you were just to park the element of work or self-employment, you could be looking for new love. You could be just wanting to re-energise your look, but if you don't think about it, again, it always comes down to intention. Be intentional about how you want to show up, but equally what you're going to pop on. It's so easy for us all to say, oh, well, I just throw that on because it just feels easy. Yeah. But it won't actually make you feel good.
Yes, it's about making you feel good, isn't it? Because then the confidence shines through, as
100%.
you just said.
Yeah, definitely. So your energy changes, and also you show up differently, but also you send messages to other people. So I touched on it a little bit about, companies or people being drawn to you. Trust is a massive thing when people are obviously working with you. But most importantly, it's about ourselves, because a great outfit will really help you feel put together.
Yes.
It empowers you, it makes you feel ready. It changes your mindset. So you actually will have a better day if you are prepared and you're wearing the right armour, let's call it. Yeah. So working on both areas will really help show up to be your true self. And that's the important thing. Yes, there's lots of trends out there and there's people we can look at and we try and emulate their look. But if that isn't aligned with you as a person, your personality, then you'll be out of sync. So it's important that you really are authentic.
So true. I mean, I have, as I've said, I've been hiding away in black, and I just felt like my soul wasn't like on fire. It just felt like I was hiding. Yeah. And the difference it's made, even I thought, I felt pretty good at putting an outfit together. But with you, I was like, we spoke about nails. I need to get mine done at the moment. But nails is part of your accessories as well. And people don't always think about that you can have a bit of a play with them. I've got bright red ones. you've got your jewellery, and I would almost be like, I think I fell short with my shoes. I would
Yeah.
wear the same white trainers all the time, and I didn't feel excited. But it's having a few different options, isn't it? And like, I love statement jewellery. I've got big earrings on at the moment, and I really like, it's meant to be fun, and you're meant to have a bit of a play with it, aren't
Exactly,
you?
yeah. Accessories are the icing on the cake for
Yeah.
me. So you can have a black dress if that's the colour you want to wear, but if you start adding some accessories to it, it does elevate your look. But accessories, again, is a tricky area because some people get fearful of it because it's like, oh, I don't want to look like a Christmas tree. Can I wear gold? Can I wear silver? Can I mix? And all that sort of stuff.
It's knowing your colours as well, isn't it?
Absolutely. But also, it's just tread carefully, I will say. If you think, right, that's it, listening to this and I'm going to go out and have a splurge on accessories, I always say just buy one necklace, a pair of earrings, you know, a bout or something, if that's the line you want to go down, and just try and implement it into your wardrobe rather than splurge and have lots sitting on your dressing table and worn.
It's so easy. We've all, before you, I had a wardrobe full of stuff that I never wore, that I'd be like, I'd fit into it at some point, or I want to go back to that, and actually I'm going to have to get rid of it all.
Dress for the body you have now. That's the thing, rather than the body that you think you're going to have in the future. Dress for who you are now.
Yeah.
Because so many people, they stop themselves from moving forward because they'll say, oh, you know, when I've lost weight, then I'll do something about it. But actually, by doing something about it can have a positive effect. It can mentally make you feel more inspired in other areas of your life that you actually then naturally maybe lose a bit of weight if that's what your desire is. And some women aren't. Some women are meant to be the size they are, but
Absolutely.
they bereft themselves thinking, I've got to be this
High street model.
Exactly,
Perfect.
yeah, and it's not. That's incorrect. And the amount of women have to say is just dress for the body you have
Yes.
now, and then you will naturally feel good in it. You know, even if you have gained weight and you're not the size that you were when you were in your 20s, whatever, all our bodies change. And that's the beautiful thing about women. We evolve all the time and we've got to move with it.
Absolutely, and I think by having your wardrobe of when I'm fit into that, it feeds into the not enoughness. And actually, when you get rid of that, it's almost saying to yourself, I am enough as I am right now.
Absolutely,
And we are taught to continually try to get back into our old jeans or this. And actually, like, I feel so much better dressing for my size, dressing in colour, having the accessories, and getting rid of all that stuff that I probably was never going to wear and never fit into again. And it's probably out of date anyway.
And the other thing is when people do that, if you were to lose weight, then those things wouldn't be you because
Exactly.
you've moved forward.
Yeah.
And so actually you'd want to go out and buy something new for the new body. So you are better to just give them to charity, sell them on Vinted, or gift them away to somebody.
100%.
So yeah, let them go.
Yes, I had these French Connection whistle skinny jeans that I was keeping, and I was like, you know what, it's not the trend anymore. Even if I could fit into them again, it's just get rid of them.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't wear them.
Exactly. What do you notice changes most in women when they reconnect with their style?
When they reconnect, I will say they definitely stand taller.
Yeah.
They feel very excited to get dressed. They are excited to go shopping
Yeah.
if that is on the cards. And sometimes it can just be a few components that they need to buy. But it has that ripple effect across the whole of their life. So it's not just when they're with me. I get so many messages from partners or husbands or daughters saying, thank you so much, I've got my wife back.
Wow.
Or thank you so much for helping my mom. She's so happy now. And it's an all-round thing, really. It's not just the aesthetic. It's not just what we see as the outerwear. It's the inner effect it has as well.
100%, and that really resonates with me. I think I've been standing taller, and I've been excited. Before I would just throw something on and be like, oh, this would do, we're going for a roast dinner. And now I'm like, oh no, how do I feel today? How do I want to show up? And it's not for anyone else, it's for me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's how you want to feel, because that's what's important. I know I touched on the fact that it's how we're perceived.
Yeah.
But actually, if we know we've got it right, that's what's important.
Yeah.
And how we're perceived is, how we're perceived.
Yeah.
People will either want to work with us if we're in business or have a different impression of us. But it's always about yourself.
Definitely. So why do you think style is such a powerful tool for personal development? We've said that people tend to step into their own, don't they? And both of us are a big fan of personal development and self-growth. We're both in business. So what do you think makes it so powerful?
Well, it's one of the few self-development tools that's both practical and visual.
Yeah.
So it's practical because we can do it,
Yes.
and it's visual because it's immediate. So immediately you'll see the transformation. And when you can change how you see yourself in clothes, that's when that spark deepens, that shift happens, and you get that back. And it's that confidence and that self-worth.
Yes.
You spoke about it. I like to say, make it a daily act of I matter enough to feel good in what I wear.
Oh, can you say that again slower? Because that's brilliant.
So make it a daily act of saying I matter enough to feel good in what I wear.
Yes.
Matter enough.
Do you know, it's funny you say that, because I've got a Bobbi Brown lipstick that I love. It's gold. And this was a bit of a splurge for me. And I thought, do you know what? You can subscribe something. And I put I matter. And so every time I put that lipstick on, I'm like, I matter. And now I'm going to bring that through with the clothes. It's I matter. I don't want to shrink away anymore. I matter.
Absolutely,
oh, I
definitely.
love so much. So back to business, because a lot of the women that are going to be listening are going to be in business. And I want to know, what keeps you motivated and going in your business?
So I genuinely love what I do. I really feel as though 16 years ago, which is when I started my business, this was my calling. This is my purpose. It's creative and it's deeply rewarding. So when I was in my corporate job, I wanted to break away. I knew I wanted to do something creative. I knew it was going to involve clothes, and I knew I wanted to help women feel good. So that's exactly what this job does. And in fact, when I was exploring, my business, I went onto this database. You literally plugged in all your skills and what you liked and values and everything else, and it literally popped up personal stylist. And that was over 16 years ago.
Oh, I'm going to try. I'd be so curious to see what that is and if it's still around.
I don't even know how I came across it. I'm going to say the universe sent it to me because I was like, I can't do this job anymore. Yeah. But literally, that was what it was. And I think just knowing that I'm really, really helping women feel good and enjoying the various chapters of their lives. Although I dedicate most of my business to midlife, I do help younger ladies, I do help older ladies, I help the occasional men. But for me, it's about helping women to be more confident and get real clarity on who they are.
Oh my goodness, what a wonderful answer. And it's interesting because I've just come from the hairdresser and I had someone that you know, Annie, and as soon as I mentioned your name, and I didn't know she knew, she was like, I know Helen. And actually, majority of people that I speak to, we're both from Leamington Spa in the Midlands, and everyone knows you. Like, you are the go-to. And I can't remember how I found you in the first place, but I was recommended to you. And your name, like, whenever anyone thinks you're a personal stylist, it's Helen Richardson.
Aww.
You have to. So you carved such an incredible brand for yourself. And that is through, A, that it comes across that you really want to help people.
Yeah.
And B, I mean, you look stunning all the time.
Oh, thank you.
So it always helps. I think I wouldn't come to you if you didn't dress, if you didn't teach, walk the walk.
Yeah.
And this pink is such a great brand colour for you.
Thank you, yeah.
How did the pink come about?
I don't know, I've always liked pink. I'm trying to think back to my first logo was pink. And then my second one, I went down a little bit of corally, because I like coral as well. And then I did purple, but not clothing, in my branding. And then obviously, pink. I just like pink. It just always makes me feel loved. It's a real joyful colour. It always just lights me up.
It's so interesting how we can relate colours to feelings and emotions, can't we? The psychology behind it is fascinating. Yeah. I always love asking this question, but a quote that I came across was, style is a way to say who you are without having to speak. And I absolutely loved that. Yeah. It's so true, isn't it? Do you have a favourite personal development quote? It could be to do with clothes or just in general.
I think in general, one of my real favourites is, you don't have to be confident to start, you just have to start.
And this is what stops so many people, is they're going for perfection, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's literally about making that decision to feel and look good. It's up to us. Yeah. Even I have to make that decision in the morning. Although I'm a personal stylist, I can have days where I think, oh, how am I feeling today? But I know the power of clothing and putting on the right clothes. And yes, I am my brand and, I have to walk the talk. But I know the impact it has if I know I'm wearing the right clothes. So it is literally making that decision to make some changes and take action.
Oh, 100%. And as you don't need to go and buy a whole new wardrobe. You don't need to throw out everything. It's starting bit by bit, isn't it? Maybe a new pair of earrings, or even, we're talking about nail varnish or a new lipstick.
Yeah.
It can be something really basic that can give you that lift to start off with, isn't it?
Absolutely. Just little things, just little pops of colour. And remember, if there's a particular colour you like, but actually it's probably going to do you no favours on your upper body that bounces onto your face, then you can wear it in an accessory. So if yellow, for example, is a colour that scares you, and you think, I couldn't possibly wear that as a top or a dress, then have it in as a little bag.
Or your nails.
Exactly, yeah, totally. Accessories, you can have all sorts of colours. So I think it's about little, small, incremental steps that just build up over time and just gradually build your confidence that way. So
yes, absolutely. And sometimes it's worth maybe keeping some of your accessories that you love that you think might have gone out of style, because they come back again, don't they?
Yeah, fashion has a 7-year cycle.
Oh, 7 years.
7
okay.
years. So if there are things that you absolutely love, you can actually tuck those away. I suggest to people to vacuum pack them or put them in a box, pop them in a loft. Just don't forget you've got them. Because guaranteed they'll come back around again. I mean, look at the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, all of that has come back around again.
Absolutely.
And often there's just like little tweaks on it.
Yeah.
So you'll kick yourself, because I did it in my youth where I gave lots of stuff to charity and then it all came back around again. And I just think, I should have hung on to that.
I know, it's the beauty of hindsight, isn't it? I guess if that's what you're saying, if there's something you absolutely adore and don't know why you can't get rid of it, maybe that's the thing to keep.
I think sizes-wise, again, you touched on it, Polly, is that if you've got sizes that are maybe a couple of sizes smaller in your closet, wardrobe, or even bigger, and you think to yourself, I'm not going to be that size again, let them go, because you don't want them in your main wardrobe, but B, they probably won't be you if you do lose that weight. So actually, just let them go. And also, clothing is energy. So if you've got memories with them and you're then thinking, I used to be able to fit into that, and you're not wearing it, then again, that is energetically going to bring your mood down, because you'll be like, I want to wear that. Oh no, that doesn't fit me, so I can't wear it. And then you spend too much time agonising, getting decision fatigue, rather than just making a decision and out the door.
Sometimes just making that decision and it's gone. I have very rarely thought about the clothes I've taken to a charity shop. Once they're gone, it almost feels like you've opened that space up for new opportunities to come your way.
Yeah.
And almost if people are believing in manifestation, then it almost manifests different things.
Totally, yeah. You've got to it's like clutter anywhere in your house. You've got to let things go. You won't miss them because you're not wearing them.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing I would say. Well, you're not wearing them, so you're not going to miss it. So let it go.
A question for you, Helen, is how has your mindset evolved through your 16 years of being in fashion? Did you say fashion?
Yeah, fashion, styling. Yeah, fashion, it's a really funny word, isn't it? Because some people hear of fashion and they go, I don't do fashion. But actually, we all do fashion.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're offered. A style of t-shirt is fashion, a style of shoe is a style of train or whatever is fashion.
Yes.
So what I've had to stop doing is, again, I'm a perfectionist at heart, is sometimes myself waiting for that perfect style, and also going for progress and going for expression, not perfection. And the reason I say that is there'll be a lot of women out there that, again, will be striving for that perfection. Whereas sometimes it's just better to, bit like the saying, it's better done than not done, isn't it?
Yes.
So sometimes I think we're starting to see it more and more now, is where the pressure of everything being so perfect in all sorts of areas
Especially
of work.
social media.
Absolutely. It's just get yourself out there, because you are who you are.
Yes. And
to stop worrying about what other people are thinking, because they're too busy worrying about themselves.
Yeah.
So long as you've got yourself together, know how you want to show up, and then get yourself out there. That's what I would say. And trust your instinct. Your own intuition will know whether it's right or wrong. There can be sometimes that little chimp that sits on the shoulder and will say things like, that doesn't look good on you. But just trust yourself, trust that instinct, and have that courage to do the same. And that's what I encourage my clients to do. And just always realise that style isn't frivolous. It's very, very powerful.
It is an investment in yourself, isn't it? And business investment as well. Something that came into my mind this morning that I was thinking about is, are you familiar with Marie Kondo?
Yes.
And does it spark joy? For those people listening, she would get an object. She's a decluttering queen, I'm going to say, because she's phenomenal. And she is so in alignment. You can feel her light just shining through. And when she picks something up, she will go, does it spark joy? Do you get those goosebumps? Do you get those good feelings? And if not, let it go. And sometimes if you can't decide, pick something up that does spark joy and then hold on to that other thing again. And then a lot of the time that can make your decision for you. So we could do this with clothes, even when we're shopping.
100%. Definitely, yeah. On the note of shopping, because that's an interesting one, is although I've touched on things not being, they don't have to be perfect, but if, say, you try something on and you know it doesn't quite fit right and you're going to fidget and da-da-da-da, you have the decision to either put it back and say, no, I will find something else, or you say to yourself, I know I can have this altered by a seamstress and it will then fit me. The problem is with an awful lot of ladies, particularly in the UK, and I see it, is that they buy things and if they get it and it doesn't quite fit, they'll either wear it, not feel great, make do, or not wear it and leave it hanging in the wardrobe.
Yeah.
My advice is always, how do you feel in it? Does it really make you feel great? Because if it doesn't, and we did this,
Yes.
Holly, didn't we? I was like, how do you feel? And you were like, oh, I'm not quite sure. And I said, it's going back. Because you won't wear it. It doesn't feel, it doesn't spark you with joy.
Yes. And you know, it's funny, I don't know what I was thinking, but I had it into the stuff that I love, that I know that I wanted to keep, the stuff that was a no, and then I had my maybes. And I was like, oh, is Helen going to make me keep this? Is she going to say this looks great and I'm not going to feel it? But that's not what you're about at all. If it's a maybe, don't keep it, you know.
No.
And that made the decision for me so easy, because I thought, well, she's going to put me in stuff that I'm not going to feel comfortable in, and it was all about me. There was nothing where you said you have to wear that or that's your colours, so you've got to do that. It was nothing about that.
No.
It was all centred around me and how do I want to feel. It's all about that feeling.
Yeah.
And I mean, that changed everything. As well as actually, one thing is, and I don't know why I don't think of it, but getting things tailored. Buying something, because I am 5 foot, I am pear shape, I am plus size, and I was like, there's nothing for me. And what is your advice to people who don't fit the stereotype, can walk into Marks and Spencer's, Reese, H&M, Whistles, if they can't easily walk in? Because there's a lot more choice online now, isn't there? Where do you suggest they start?
So yeah, the high street, most brands, they're not size inclusive. They're getting better, but it is, I would generally say you probably will have to buy online. Again, it really depends on your dress size. But what I would say is forget about the size and the label, a bit like you touched on. So if you do have to buy a bigger size, but you know it fits you in the right places and it just might need a bit of tailoring on the waist or the shoulders or whatever, you know, lifting the shoulders up sometimes. The problem with a lot of high street brands is that when women sort of enter what they classify as a plus size, which is actually a size 16, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the manufacturers think you're big all over and you're not. So like for you, you're small on the top, and that's where we sometimes have to tweak
and
things.
And small waist. And
small waist,
I
yeah.
often find, this is why it's hard to find dresses, but I'm smaller up top, bigger at the I'm 2 dress sizes, and I always have been, doesn't matter what size. And I was always like, how do people get dresses to fit them? And actually, once you find your store, I find Bowden works really well for my shape. And when you find it, and it took me years to find it, I was going through H&M, Zara, all of these places, Whistles. But when you find it, it's like gold dust.
It is, yeah, exactly. And that's the key thing, is finding brands that you know will work for you. And I think there is an overwhelm out there. I mean, crikey, we've never had so much choice on the high street or even online.
Yes.
And I think this is where people do get so confused and disheartened because they buy things but they don't realise that brand will work for them. So again, one of the benefits of using a stylist is that they will know the shops. They'll know the shops that will work for all sorts of proportions.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain brands I don't go near because I know they won't work for me. So it's fine. There's plenty of other brands out there that will work for me. So yeah, just be open-minded to have things tailored. That's what the Europeans do. They buy off the peg, have things tailored, and then it's made to fit you.
100%. And I'm just thinking, I remember when we first spoke and you were like, River Island is really good for pear shapes. Are there any other brands that, like, I imagine you get women of all shapes and sizes. Is there someone, can you off the cuff go, tall people, that's a great brand, or short people, that's a great brand, or is it really mix and match?
It's quite mixed now. There used to be a number of brands that were for petite ladies, but they don't exist anymore. Even like they went down to concessions in department stores. So like House of Fraser would have them, but House of Fraser doesn't really exist anymore. I mean, and again, tall people have the same challenge as what shorter people do, in the sense that they need the length. But lots of brands now, they have your petite, they'll have your regular, and then they'll have your tall. And then even brands like Marks & Spencer, they do like extra short, don't they?
Yeah.
So it's like, but they're considering length. But I've got ladies that are petite that don't just need the short in the leg, they need the short in the arms as well. I know, again, that I think you struggle with the length sleeve, don't you? So it is tricky. Tall ladies, long tall Sally used to be the one that people would go to, but if you're young, you don't want to be in that. It's too old a lady, and it's actually, the quality is not incredible, I don't think. So Reese is quite good for tall. They do petite as well.
Okay.
But now the only challenge with Reese, as much as it's a beautiful brand, is they don't really cater for curves too much. So it's like it swings and roundabouts. So you've got the height of either petite or tallness, but then they don't allocate, a woman might have a bottom, or she's got a lovely bust.
Yeah,
So
they lump everyone into the same category, really.
Yeah.
I love ChatGPT. Are you a fan of it?
yes, yeah.
I wonder if, and maybe, I don't know if you've had a play with it, but I definitely want to have a play later. If you could type in there, I am a woman at 5 foot, pear shape, here are my measurements. What shops in the UK do petite brands? Or what cater to tall women? You know, you could type in anything. I wonder what it would come up with. Because I think I'm going to try this later.
I've actually had a go at it.
Have you?
Yes, I have had a go at it for another lady who was petite, but also quite challenged with other areas. But it does come up with it. Do you know what? There's so much more choice in the States. The US have so much choice for petite and more size inclusive. But we've just got to hope that it's all going to filter back down to here.
Absolutely. And in the meantime, we've all got to find a really good
Seamstress.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely. A good seamstress is your best friend because they will literally just tweak things. And it's worth the money to have things just altered. It really, really is. So yeah.
I also want to share some really brilliant tips. As we've spoke about, I like cropped, and not everything comes cropped in the arms, too long for me. And you suggested having a hairband on my sort of forearm and ruching it up, pull it over the hairband.
Yeah.
And that looks really stylish. It's a way you could do it with cardigans, you can do it with jackets, instead of rolling them up when they always fall down. And it's such a brilliant way.
Yeah, absolutely. So little tiny skinny hair bobbles, which, you can get them in packs. So the thinner ones, the better, because they have got a bit more stretch in them. The last thing you want to do is cut off your circulation of your arms. I mean, sometimes they are quite small. And you can buy shirt armbands, which gents have, but they're okay. But if you were to lose a hair bobble, you're not going to be heartbroken. So you'd put your jacket on or your piece of knitwear or your jumper. You'd put the hairband over the top, and you literally are pushing the sleeve upwards, and then the hair bobble is going to actually sit above your elbow and then make it messy. And the good thing about that look, not only does it solve the problem of sleeves being a bit too long, but also makes you look a little bit edgier.
It does,
and
I love that. And there was another one, because my waist is my favourite part of my body. So I will, if I have a skirt, I will always tuck it in and pull it out a bit. And you did this thing where you had hairbands, almost like pigtails on the side.
Yeah.
Can you talk them? It's a bit one of those things that you kind of need to see
See a visual, yeah. So basically, if you've got excess fabric from a T-shirt, a shirt, a blouse, or a piece of knitwear, what you want to do is, let's say we'll take it from a shirt, button it all the way up, and then you want to take hold of the back, so like the tail of the shirt, and get a hair bobble. Again, if you go for one of the little thin ones, it's not going to be too bulky. And you're literally going to, imagine you're doing like a little ponytail at the back. You've scrooched it all together, do it tight, and then you're going to tuck. So it's like a little piggy tail. You're going to tuck it underneath, and then you might just have to pull it out a little bit so it's not all bunched up in the middle. And then it's your top, your shirt will actually sit on your waistline. And then with the front bit, you can either just tuck it under. You don't even have to tuck it in your bottoms. So your waist is being defined by the top, but you haven't got the bulk tucked into your bottom half.
It's so genius, and I never heard of this before. And it stops. I always tuck it in, and then if it's silk, it comes out. You're tucking it in again. Yeah. But this it stays put, doesn't it?
It stays put. It's genius.
Yeah. Now, I think we could talk for hours and hours. But I've got some really wonderful questions that I ask all of my guests that I really, really am intrigued. Mm-hmm. So I am all about small incremental steps that change your life. It could be hour by hour, day by day, every week, or all these little tweaks make a difference. The slight edge, if you will, or the compound effect.
Yeah.
What does living, and all of these things lead to the elevated life, a good life, let's say. What does living an elevated life mean to you?
Okay, so for me, it means showing up with confidence, clarity and alignment in how I live,
Yes.
and not one that I've settled for.
Yeah.
So that's what is absolutely crucial. So, and I think, again, as women often put themselves at the bottom of the queue, particularly if they have got families, then it's about, having one life, an elevated life. It is crucial that you are showing up for yourself and not settling.
So why is that version of life important to you?
So honouring who I am. So if I'm looking at it from my point of view, choosing happiness, self-expression, and modelling that for other women that I work with to feel empowered to do the same. So that's what I like. So when I work with ladies, I get them often saying to me, well, I just want your outfit, or I want to dress like you, I want to be like you. And I'm like, well, you can do that. No, I can't. Or some will say I can't do that. And I show them how they can. So, women are very good at categorising themselves, whether it's their age, their size, their budget. Again, I know I keep going on about those, but they are fundamental areas.
Yes.
But, that's, for me, it's about choosing to make those. Again, it's all about that decision, making that decision, taking action. And for me, it's about showing other women what's possible.
Oh, I love that. So what's one belief or habit that's helped you become the woman you are today?
Self-belief, and having that, knowledge that you can achieve whatever you decide to put your mind to, because that's what I've done. What I've been passionate about in life, I have put everything into, and it's always reaped rewards. It's always paid off. And again, that's just down to self-belief. And I work on myself daily. Like we're well into our personal development. So whether it's reading, listening, podcasts, surrounding myself with like-minded people, all of that helps build our confidence, which is a skill, by the way. It's not a personality trait. It's a skill. And then that self-belief comes from that. And don't get me wrong, we'll have our little wobbles, but because we can go back to those resources, that's what lifts us back up. It can be as simple as looking, if you're on social media, looking at a quote sometimes. It's almost like that quote was meant for me. I was meant to read that quote, and it's actually lifted that mood I was feeling. So self-belief is something that we can work on.
And everyone can get it, can't they? And it doesn't happen overnight.
No, and I think more and more people are open to it.
Yes.
Like, both you and I have been in network marketing.
Yes.
And that's what introduced me to personal development. And I am eternally grateful that I was exposed to it all the years ago that I was, because I wouldn't be the person I am today. I wouldn't have the business I have today. So, it does. It's kind of like I love feeding my brain with all that good stuff.
Oh, I love that. We're definitely on the same wavelength
there.
If the audience could take just one thing away from this conversation, what would you love it to be?
You said it at the beginning, Polly, you don't need a brand new wardrobe to feel amazing. It just starts with getting clear on how you want to show up for yourself every day, which I've touched on throughout. Small intentional style choices will create momentum. So that slight edge, doing a little something each day, and that's what will build real confidence over time.
Amazing. Helen, thank you so much for being here, not just for this conversation, but for the work that we've done together. I felt the impact firsthand, and I know that so many of our listeners are going to resonate with this conversation and be inspired as well. If you're listening right now and thinking, maybe it's the time I stop hiding and start showing up as the woman I truly am, then let this be your sign. Style is not about fashion, as Helen said, it's about feeling, and you deserve to feel amazing. We'll link all of Helen's details in the show notes. Go and give her a follow, explore her work, and maybe even book that styling session you've been putting off. You won't regret it. So that's goodbye from me and Helen.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you.